Well, hello and welcome in, friends. How's everybody doing today? I hope you are well. So, my name is Sarah. I'm a former Jehovah's Witness turned atheist turned energy reader, intuitive. And today I am here to give you a message through some oracle cards and some tarot. I have a message that I've been sitting with for a few days, and so I'm feeling called to share it with you. So this might be a little different from something you've seen from me before if you have recently subscribed to me. If we have not met before, hello, welcome. Um, I welcome you in. If what I'm saying resonates or the title resonates, trust that the message is for you. And this is a timeless message, so whenever it comes into your feed is the time that you're meant to hear it. Okay. So the person I am speaking to today is someone who has done a lot of healing work on themselves. They've identified the issues that have been plaguing them in their lives. They've made necessary changes. They've decided to move forward and put themselves first. So this is someone who's not, brand new on their spiritual journey. They recognize or have been working on something for quite some time. But there's one thing that they're really struggling with. And they've recognized that through doing the work of healing themselves, they might be in a relationship with someone, could be a family member, a spouse, partner, a friend, someone that they're on a deep connection with, someone that they are deeply connected with. They're recognizing that as they heal themselves, that relationship has changed quite a bit. That their role is now that of someone who wants to help, but also recognizes that it is not their job to do the work. And maybe the person that they're trying to connect with recognizes that they need to do some work too, but they're not necessarily willing or able, frankly. They're uncertain on how to do that, how to move forward. So this is a very specific message that may not resonate with many people. Most of my messages, I put the intention out that it will only go to those who need to see it. But this is a general reading, oracle and tarot reading. So do with that information what you will. So we have the mirror card, who or what is triggering you, and also the ever unfolding rose, cracked open, it's happening for you, not to you. This is from the Work Your Light oracle deck. So this person that I'm speaking of, picking up on their energy, again, you've done the work. You're feeling like, okay, when is it going to get easier? When is this situation ever going to just not feel so cyclical and intense? And you're maybe even feeling like, hang on, I thought that if I did all of this work, that these things that I thought I worked through would not rear their ugly head. And I'm hearing the work is never done. You just get deeper into it, which feels like, why even bother, right? And I hope that that is not how you feel, but it is human to feel that way, to say, then why am I even doing this inner work? Why am I even trying to better my life if it's never going to end? The thing is that because you're doing that work and healing, you're, for lack of a better term, like, you just see things differently. Some might say, your frequency gets higher, but that kind of makes other people feel like they're left out. So I'm trying to have an all-encompassing umbrella term, but frankly, it's just the more you focus on healing, Things just, your perception changes, I guess. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's how I want to say it, is that your perception changes. Things just seem different, and you're able to kind of change the way you feel about things. So, and two, the person I'm speaking to, maybe your intuition is really amping up at this time. Like the people I'm speaking to, again, are people who are going to have some spiritual or psychic gifts, like maybe the clairs, or you recognize patterns and you can read people's energy. Sometimes maybe you didn't even know you could, but as time goes on, you're understanding that, yes, this is me. And by the way, anyone can hone their skills. We all have abilities. And when we work on the limitations that have been placed upon us and our abilities from society, when we can remove those blockages, that is when those gifts can come forward and shine. And then we can share that with humanity, right? So that intuition, you're maybe receiving some new downloads. The person that I'm speaking to, you in your past, you did come from a place where there was manipulation and cunning behavior. Perhaps even you used manipulation in order to feel secure. Maybe you had to say things and do things because if you didn't, you knew it would not end well for you, I'm hearing. You were dealing with somebody who, because of their station in life, because of their position or their placement, whatever, I don't know what that means, but I hear placement. Because of their placement, you dealt with a very domineering person, and because you are an empath or intuitive, someone very sensitive to energy, this person picked on you to feel more powerful than they actually were, because that individual was being dominated by somebody else. So like you were the scapegoat for this person's rage. Now this could have looked like physical abuse or mental abuse, sexual abuse. Yeah. I also see here that you are a person who has been through several dark nights of the soul, and you always, it doesn't feel like it at the time, but when you look back on your life, you can see where you rose to the top again. Not only did you get knocked down, but you climbed right back up, higher and stronger each time. You expanded and bettered yourself each time. So maybe I'm speaking to someone who comes from a background of absolute poverty, addiction. Perhaps your parents lost custody to you of you and your siblings, foster care, something like that. Gosh, something about drowning, whether that's literal drowning or debt, like drowning in debt, drowning in stuff, drowning in filth, like uninhabitable living space. Wow, that's intense. And because you grew up in an abusive situation, I'm speaking to a very few people, but you learned how to scan your environment. And because you have abilities for pattern seeking, like you can just, I call it, it's just, it's right in your gut. You know it. You know it. That's the only way I know how to say. You picked up on energy quickly so that you could survive. We'll put it that way. Okay. And so your whole life you have spent analyzing situations, knowing what to say. I'm feeling like the person that I'm speaking to used to manipulate others to stay safe. I think I said that already, but this went as far as to make other people believe you were something that you weren't, so that you could fit in and stay safe. It seemed deceptive to maybe the person you're dealing with, but you did it because you knew that was the only way you were going to be accepted. So I might be speaking to someone who had to hide their sexuality. Or some aspect of themselves that was a secret. I'm being asked to pull from another deck, the Truth Oracle. Spirit, could we please have some insight? Okay, the person I'm speaking to is definitely master, top level, right? Anything else that you'd like to tell us about this person, Spirit? You were a forgotten person, past old friend. Maybe people wonder whatever happened to you because they remember your story. Empty room, no people, the end, opportunity. So the person, that I'm speaking to, you've done all of this healing, right? But there's something still that is holding you back from reaching this pinnacle. And we know that the work is hard, right? We know, even though we don't want to admit it, we kind of know in the back of our heads that it's not going to be for the faint of heart and that it'll be like a lifelong thing. But there's some kind of reward in that, right? And in the cards, I see that once you continue and push through, it's okay. Sorry, let's rein it in. Like the energy is getting away from me. Okay, let me refocus for a second. When we recognize about ourselves and put up boundaries, and we continue to enforce those boundaries, even when it's difficult, we can become more balanced in our energy. We can become emotionally balanced. We've worked through our triggers and why things make us feel the way that they do, and why certain things anger us or certain things sadden us. And so I have the King of Cups and Queen of Cups here together that came out. And that tells me that when this situation can get reined in and harnessed and kind of just focused on, when we can get that under control, we're going to have this divine partnership. Whether that's with this person or just a balance of the divine feminine masculine within, which is essentially the goal, right? That's what's going to help us move forward in our life and receive blessings from spirit. Okay. Listen, the energy is great here because it shows that once you leave, not leave necessarily, but when you can sit with this energy, this mirroring energy sorry about that, my fan. When you can come back to that energy again and focus on what it is that you need to do in order to move forward, And you can leave that behind with the Eight of Cups. Look what's in your future. And fast is the Knight of Swords, fast moving energy, right? And you get the Sun. The Sun is the most positive card in the whole tarot deck. Look at that. I mean, so you're on the right track, okay? Just so you know. This is somebody who's like doing all that they can, but maybe you've been, oh, how do I say this? There's like this light being shined down on the situation that just because you've done the work and you feel like you've got things kind of figured out, it doesn't mean that life is just never going to life for you. If only it were that simple. And I mean, things are just different, but there's still challenges. Even when you have done a lot of the self-work, right? Things don't just magically disappear. Like things, it's still earth school. There's still lessons. They're just different, and they're not as hard to get over. Like you're still going to have the proverbial tower moments in life, but they might be more aha moments or clarity than something bad or what we would think of as bad. Because if something in our life dissolves, it's all perception. Is it happening for you? It's cracking you open? Yes. This is a good thing because universe has plans for us, but lots of times we get in our own way and resist it instead of inviting it in because it's something new and scary, and we're comfy, cozy over here, and we're, comfy. We don't want to be bothered, but we're being asked to trust that intuition, trust that this work that we're doing great, but we can't be too comfortable. Like there's still work to be done, right? There's always this refining. It's a refinement, guys. So we're doing great. Anyone who this resonates with, it's a general reading, but if it's kind of resonating, let me know. Is this something that you guys are experiencing in your life? And if it is, maybe tell me about it. And yeah, we'll be friends. So I hope that this reading helped in some way. I think that's it, and like it, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day. Bye, guys.